Bonjour mes amis, c'est Mademoiselle Mel. Today's lesson will focus on the accent marks in the French language and its importance. Certain Latin languages, like Spanish and Italian, utilize accent marks to denote pronunciation differences. But to French, the accent marks serve a greater purpose. In the French language, an accent mark can change a letter sound, a word's meaning, replace a letter that existed in Old French, or have no impact at all. Let's look at the 5 groups of accent marks. The first group is the acute accent, l'accent aigu. L'accent aigu is only used with the letter E, and it changes its pronunciation. One thing to keep in mind is that the E accent aigu will always sound the same no matter where it is placed. The pronunciation of E accent aigu is E. E. The second group is the grave accent, l'accent grave. L'accent grave is used above 3 vowels, A, E, and U. However, l'accent grave has 2 distinct functions in relation to the vowels. To E accent grave, the accent mark indicates a sound change. The pronunciation of E accent grave is E. E. However, A and U accent grave do not represent a sound change, but are used to differentiate between 2 words that are spelled identically. For example, ou and ou. Notice that they are pronounced the same, but the only thing that differentiates them is the ou accent grave. In this case, it completely changes the meaning of the word or, to wear. The third group is a circumflex accent, l'accent circonflexe, which is the only one of the French accent marks that appear above all the vowels. L'accent circonflexe has 3 primary functions in French. First, it can indicate a spelling change from Latin. For example, une forêt is an indication of a spelling change from the Latin word forestis. Second, l'accent circonflexe only affects the pronunciation of A, E, and O. A accent circonflexe is pronounced as A. A. E accent circonflexe is pronounced as E. E. O accent circonflexe is pronounced as O. O. Lastly, l'accent circonflexe is utilized to differentiate between 2 words that are spelled identically. For example, sur, which means on, and sur, which means sure. The fourth group is the cedilla, le cedi. Le cedi is only used with the letter C. It is the only French accent mark that is used with a consonant. Its only function is to change the pronunciation of a hard C, k, to a soft C. For example, garçon. Instead of saying garçon, we say garçon. The pronunciation of c'est dit is s. The last group is trema accent, l'accent trema. L'accent trema is used with e, I, and U. It is placed on the second of two consecutive vowels to indicate that each vowel is pronounced independently. For example, Noël. The E accent trema makes us pronounce the vowels O and E separately. No, el. No, el. Let's recap the pronunciation of the accent marks. E accent aigu is E. E. E accent grave is E. E. A accent grave has no sound change, and U accent grave also has no sound change. A accent circonflexe is pronounced as A. A. E accent circonflexe is pronounced as E. E. O accent circonflexe is pronounced as O. O. I accent circonflexe has no sound change, and U accent circonflexe also has no sound change. C'est dit is s. E accent trema has no sound change. I accent trema has no sound change, and U accent trema has no sound change. In the French language, how many accent mark groups are there? The groups are l'accent aigu, l'accent grave, l'accent circonflexe, l'accent dit, and which accent mark makes the sound E. E. Which accent mark makes the sound A. A. Which accent mark makes the sound S. S. Which accent mark makes the sound O. O. Is there a sound change in this accent mark? Is there also a sound change in this accent mark? Is there a sound change in this accent mark? And finally, is there a sound change in this accent mark?